Okay, if I unmute myself, can the rest of you hear me? Can you hear everything else that's going on in here? Okay. Okay, how about now? Can you hear what's going on in here?
Not the background, Mary, no, just you.
Just me.
And I heard you.
Okay. Yeah, that's you.
Oh, it shows that you're talking.
I can hear Ariel.
She's right up here next to me.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how this is going to work if when the board members to my right are talking, but they're not right here next to this computer.
Do they have their own devices?
Not all of them.
That would be a fix if they could get them.
It echoes.
Do they have that function to raise hand? Yes.
Well, I've only got a couple motions.
Okay.
You know what?
Sorry, we're just getting ourselves set up. We'll be a few more minutes. Okay, while we're waiting for one more piece of equipment to come in, if I could do a roll call for the board members, just so I make sure I have all of them present. Sherry Bowman Cluck. I thought I had given them the right. Yes. Okay, Sherry Bowman Cluck, are you present? All right, Rachel Finney.
I'm here.
Okay, Kelly Kashak. Derek Gardner. Katie Snyder. Frank Swack. Jeff Payne.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mary, this is
One more
Sherry.
minute.
Mary, I was able to get on. For some reason, the volume or voices weren't coming in, but I'm all set now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, can you guys hear me?
I'll just turn the volume down.
All right. We're having some technical difficulties here tonight, in case you couldn't tell. So Ariel is going to be our leader tonight. All right. So I'll let her get back over here to the computer. If you could record it to the cloud, do you have that capability?
Please ask the host to give permission to record.
Already done. Ariel, you may have to repeat what I say for them.
Okay, so we're still having some technical difficulties. They're just trying to work through it. Mary, it does say recording on your end. So it is recording. We just, yeah, it's coming up on mine that it is recording. So the middle school student council and high school student council, we're going to that or?
No, we're gonna call the meeting to order
Okay.
first. So Frankie will take over from here. We'll signal you when we're ready.
Okay.
I'll call meeting to order.
Call the meeting to order.
Stand to the flag, please.
And stand and salute the flag. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Can I have a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes of November 17th?
I'll make the motion.
Any changes or corrections?
Any changes or corrections?
None. Derek, any vote? Yes. Katie?
Yes.
Rachel?
Abstain.
Gary?
Yes.
Deb?
Abstain.
Can I have a motion for the special meeting minutes of December 3rd?
I'll make it.
Second it? Any changes or corrections? Derek, any vote? Yes. Katie? Yes. Rachel?
Abstain.
Gary?
Yes.
Deb?
Yes.
We have a student council presentation.
So the middle school student council and the high school student council wanted to make sure they show their appreciation to the Board of Ed every year. The student council does come and acknowledge and share gifts, but because of everything going on, the middle school student council made a video as well as the high school student council. And we also have some high school student council that'll join us after the two videos.
Give me a moment.
The Berlin Middle School Student Council would like to recognize the Board of Education members, and we have something they would like to share with you.
Dear presenting the gift to show our appreciation. The gift bag contains inclusive drawings and ways to teach us, and this is all that we can do today.
Mr. Grandpa, thank you for everyone your service.
Mrs. Bowman, thank you for 4 years of service.
Mrs. K. Jackson, thank you for 5 years of service.
Mr. Payne, thank you for 19 years of service.
Dr. Young, thank you for your dedication support for students for the last 5 years. Being your next to the high school student platform.
And then and I'm gonna just check with Nate. Did you have something that the students wanted to share?
Yes, so our students did get a gift for the superintendent, kind of like a farewell and thank you gift, and we left it with Mary Grant. If she brought that today, that'd be awesome if you could check on it in front of the kids. And some of the kids are actually here tonight getting a feel for their first board meeting, which is really exciting. And so they're kind of listening in and paying attention as we go along. So thank you, Dr. Young.
Thank you very much. Should I open it now? Somebody's saying yes. All right. I love opening gifts. Somebody knows my hobby.
Can you turn your video on so the students can see?
Oh, you can see.
Oh, his video is just Frankie got a video on his, or? Let me see if I can turn.
That's. Can I say a few words? Well, thank you very much. It's obvious that somebody did their homework and they knew exactly what I do in my spare time. I guess if you ever came into my office, you could see the pictures hanging on the walls too. I really appreciate the gifts that you have given me. I will cherish them as I continue my fishing escapades, including coming back to Grafton State Park to do some of the bass fishing. Nate, I know you probably had something to do with it since you are a fisherman as well. And don't forget, you did mention that you have a small little honey hole for bass. And I expect to try out these new lures come springtime. Thank you very much, everyone.
I can't let you in here. I don't have, further capabilities. I think you're out to sabotage me here tonight. For the early retirement.
Set the audio up. I'll just turn and I'll face the audience
Okay.
this way. I can run quite a bit of this.
Can we pull a chair over here?
No, that's fine. How can they see me here? Can they see good?
Yep, you're good. You're right there.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you want me to see if it'll reach the table there? Should I sit down?
Sure.
There's a lot of cords
Right here.
here.
Right here. Wait.
Yeah, that one's just the one that connects to up there.
On. There, we've got some IT there. I'll save Ariel from doing everything, if everyone can hear me. And I'll bring my laptop over.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, moving right along, we'll speed this up. We have the consent agenda items, treasury report, personal action, claims auditor, CSE recommendations, educational agreement, correction of contractual agreements for related services, 2021 budget transfers, surplus items, adoption of the LGS-1 retention and disposition schedule. If there's no question, any questions I have from any of the board members? If not, I'll entertain a motion for consent agenda item.
I'll make a motion, Greg.
Motion's been made and seconded by Derek. Is there any question of any other board members? Derek, how do you vote?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Rachel?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. My presentation will be kind of in a couple of modes here. First off, this has been a year for dynamic changes. Last December, you could not imagine what we're going to go through this year. Closing schools, busing school lunch programs, developing virtual instructional programs while keeping everyone safe. There's lots of flexibility on parents, students, administrators, instructional and non-instructional staffs. I have to commend everyone for putting student safety first, providing a sound educational system, and being very creative. So hats off to everyone that made this year manageable. The next item is, Stephen, I asked you a question a while back and you never gave me an answer. And for his defense, I ask a lot of questions. It can be when he's getting out of the shower in the morning on the phone, when he's having lunch, when he's going to a meeting, late at night, a weekend or whatever. So I ask a lot of questions, and I will provide the same courtesy to the new superintendent. So hats off. So I asked you a question, you never answered. So the board worked with me to come up with an answer for the question. And the question is, what are we going to do with the new lab? So we decided to, you're going to get to keep this, but you can't keep the other part because we're going to keep it. We decided to call it the Young Marine Biology Laboratory. But with everything, there's always a story. The board knows your story. Do you know what story it is?
No.
But I think it reflects your passion for students. And I can't do your story justice, so I'm going to have you read your story to everyone. You have to come over and read it. I will step aside. And when you see the story, you will agree. This is Stephen Young.
Oh, thank you. Oh, the starfish story. Everybody knows about that. This is going to bring me to tears probably, but we'll see. A young man is walking along the ocean and sees a beach on which thousands and thousands of starfish have washed ashore. Further along, he sees an old man walking slowly and stooping out, often picking up one starfish after another and tossing each one gently into the ocean. Why are you throwing starfish into the ocean, he asks. Because the sun is up and the tide is going out, and if I don't throw them further in, they will die. But old man, don't you realize there are miles and miles of beach and starfish all along it? You can't possibly save them all. You can't even save 1/10 of them. In fact, even if you work all day, your efforts won't make any difference at all. The old man listened calmly, then bent down to pick up another starfish. and threw it into the sea. It made a difference to that one. Dr. Stephen Young, Superintendent PhD. Thank you.
And that is your story.
That's the story that we tell.
That's great. And that's your passion for each and every student.
Yeah.
Everyone counts.
Everybody can pick up a starfish and.
So what we're going to have is the brown plaque put on the lab. And you can't keep that one. We're keeping it. But this one you can keep.
Thank you so much. It's unreal. But that's what we have to strive for every day, is to help one student at a time whenever we can. And we will save a lot of them. So as a group and as a team, that's what we've been doing for 9.5 years. And I think it's been very successful. And we have quite a few success stories that way. So thank you.
Each one of us on the board got a starfish pin, and we have it, and we wear it proudly.
Thank you.
The next item I have is a resolution, and the board has copies of this. Resolved that the Board of Education hereby appoint Mr. Adria Joseph Dar as Superintendent of Schools for a 3-year term effective February 1st, 2021, and resolved that the Board of Education hereby approves the attached employment agreement between the board and Dr. Dar effective February 1st, 2021. Could I have a motion for the resolution? Derek makes, is there a second? Derek, how do you vote? Yes. Katie? Yes. Rachel?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Beth? And I'm
Yes.
And at this time, Joseph is here. Dar, if you'd like to say something, I'll turn this around, and probably you might want to talk into this one so we get the virtual.
Good evening, board. I just want to say thank you. I'm honored by this opportunity to serve our excellent students, staff, and community over the coming years. Over the past couple of months, I've had the good fortune of visiting our towns and getting to meet people and getting to know our community and their support for our school district. So I'm really excited and look forward to the collaboration over the coming months. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations. The next time I have the superintendent's report. You want to go in front of this one?
I will also keep mine relatively brief. As you know, the board accepted my extension of my resignation until another month. So I do have one more month left, at which time I'll say my final and farewells. But first of all, I'd like to welcome and thank the new superintendent for steering the ship as I leave. I'm sure we'll have many conversations as we go forward, as we have a month of sort of overlap, I think, and certainly we'll be in contact with one another. It's a great, wonderful district to work with. The people you'll find are so welcoming, and you can't ask for a better school district to be a leadership, to play a leadership role. So thank you for coming, and we'll be in touch very shortly. Just a few items. COVID update. Again, I want to thank everyone for the job they're doing in lowering the spread of the virus in the schools. As you know, It's very, very low in terms of the positivity rate, and that's due to the due diligence of everybody really enforcing what we need to do to keep kids safe and staff safe. Of course, things may change on a dime, considering the uptick that we're seeing across the region and the state. And let's just try to keep school open as long as possible. I know it's very difficult, sometimes beyond our control, when we have outside influences that affect what we do in school. For example, another school's closure may impact some of our own teaching staff or some of our own staff, support staff, in which they would have to then quarantine. So we are still in pretty good shape. Last week or this week is kind of tough. I know a lot of people have been scrambling to get subs and cover classes and so on and so forth. So, you know, let's just hang in there. If we can hang in there just a few more days, we'll get that Christmas break. Allegedly, there might be some reprieve after Christmas, where maybe some schools will have to go remote. But again, we want to try to keep kids in the classrooms. That's the safest place for them, and we hope that we can do that for as long as possible. For those of you who might view this later on, it's primarily parents and guardians, please, 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 if you see that your children are experiencing any symptoms whatsoever, for any reason, please keep them home. Don't send them to school. And certainly, if you've been asked to quarantine for whatever reason, you should also be considering keeping your students and your children at home as well. As you know, 74% of the spread does not come from the schools. 74% of the spread comes from small families getting together. And we can help stop that if we just minimize those contacts. Just a quick update on the capital project. They will be concluded by year's end. There may be some other items for the punch list that we would probably have to do in the first couple of weeks in January. The good news is the electricity and the water have been hooked up. I ran by there this afternoon. They meaning New York State Electric and Gas, did hook up the transformer. Don't know if it's completed and ready to go, but that was the last thing that really needed to be done before they could do some of the additional testing of the systems. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully that will go well in the next couple of weeks. The next project is well underway in terms of submittal. It was submitted by the architects to SED just a week after they said they would submit it, but it was done. Preliminary approvals are in the works. We hope to have final approval sometime in the next few weeks. It's going to take about 6 weeks from what I understand. Hopefully by mid-February, we'll get the final approval. And then the bidding will go out perhaps as early as mid-March, with a return date of the end of March. If those come in as we would like them to, under budget, of course, construction could begin as soon as they start to put together the workforce, the subcontractors and the contractors. So that's the update for capital project. As you know, there's rumors that there'll be a snowstorm coming through the region Wednesday night through Thursday. Be prepared for anywhere from 4 inches up to a foot of snow. We're in that region, of course, that's always in doubt and hard to forecast. So it looks as if we will get snow. We just don't know how much. But if in the event we do close, it will be a regular snow day. We are not doing the pilot, as some school districts across the state are doing. We will have a regular snow day. Letter went out today to remind everybody that there will be no remote instruction on that snow day. It's a snow day. Kids need to take a break, and staff and teachers need to take a break from remote instruction. That's all I really have for tonight. Again, thank you, everybody, for providing me the opportunity to work in the district for the last 9.5 years. And again, I'll say more, I guess, at my next meeting in January. So that's it for me.
Thank you. Jeff, do you have a legislative liaison report?
Well, right now, the only thing we're talking about is COVID and what's going to happen to us. And I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Everything I read makes me more confused than I was before I started. So we're just going to have to write it out.
Thank you. Administrative snapshots. Berlin Elementary.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to start quickly by saying congratulations to Stephen on his retirement, since I'm not there in person this evening. 7 years ago, Stephen took a chance on me and gave me my first opportunity to be a principal. So for that, I will always be grateful. And also welcome to our new superintendent out there in the audience somewhere. As Stephen mentioned, the last few weeks have been a bit challenging with the positive cases at Berlin Elementary, but we are hanging there. I want to just publicly take a moment to thank Michelle Corsi as our COVID coordinator. Michelle has been an invaluable resource to me. We email, we text, I call her. I'm going to take myself off video because my internet connection isn't that great. But Michelle has been an invaluable resource to me throughout all of this with each case that we experience. So I wanted to just take a moment and acknowledge her. But with that said, we carry on and try to provide as much of a normal learning environment for our students as we can. So with that said, we continue with our monthly mindset. This month, our mindset is I can show support for others. We're collecting donations of pet food and supplies for the Mohawk Hudson Humane Society. And then just some of our traditions that happen in December. We're moving forward with Pajama Day, and we're going to do our sing-along again. We're going to take it virtual this year and see how that goes. But we want the kids to still have some of those normal, fun, community building experiences that are part of school for children. So thank you.
Thank you. Middle school, high school?
Hi, everyone. I'm going to try keeping my video on. Is my sound coming through clear?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. I would start by definitely echoing some of Tracy's sentiments. Very heartfelt thank you to Dr. Young, who also took a chance on me very recently as I dove into my first principalship this summer in the midst of our COVID crisis and building project and, so much transition here. And has made it really welcoming and very smooth. So thank you very much and welcome to Dr. Dara. Very excited to meet you in person and congratulations. I have a couple of points just to make. Right now at the middle high school, we're actually meeting frequently with our guidance support team. They did such a great job presenting about their roles. Sam spearheading that with the guidance support team. Thank you. But really, they did spend a long time presenting about what they do and how they do it, and still only really hit the tip of the iceberg there. I just want to share out that we are continuing to have deep and meaningful conversations as we work pretty nonstop to support students and families. Our child study team has been pretty swamped managing teacher concerns and student needs. People are scared. They're looking to the school for reassurance. It's really great reputation that Berlin Central School District has built up, that people are calling us with their concerns and having really open dialogue about that. But we definitely have some needs, and those people, along with Michelle, have worked very hard to address our population, our students, and our families. This time of year, we're starting to plan schedules with department chairs in the guidance department for next year already, getting into a little bit of our budget outlook for next year and planning for which courses we'd like to offer so that students have a good opportunity to have their course selections in. Interesting that the marine biology lab was highlighted by the Board of Education. Our student aquariums are right now up and running. That really great opportunity if you get a chance to take a look. Each student creates their own ecosystem in an aquarium, and they spend weeks getting the water right and the chemistry in the water right before they can put any animals in it. We actually, Berlin Middle High School was featured in a Chem Matters online magazine. How to Raise a Jellyfish was the name of the article that was written. It focused on a very recent graduate, Jasmine Sorensen and Matt Christian, dove deeply into the chemistry and the complexity involved. And not only is it about raising jellyfish, but it's overall understanding and improving the health of the ocean. So we've got some of that stuff going on in the midst of the crisis and the complexities that we've been dealing with day to day. And our student government this year has been quite active. They invited me to lunch yesterday where we sat in the library and discussed some of the Spirit Week items that they have been planning. So they've been moving forward with that. The middle school student government has their Make-A-Wish tree. Community Active Mountaineers has their glove tree, G-Love tree up. So anyone who might need to have a pair of gloves have been donated, and hats and ear bands and all kinds of scarves were quarantined and then put on the tree in plastic bags for anyone who needs them to keep warm. We have our food drive going on, and we have a little healthy class competition in our Spirit Week this week. Our student government would like to continue to come to board meetings, and in the future may be helping me share out what's going on in the middle high school. So this time they wanted me to kind of model what it looks like, sharing out our highlights, and then next time hopefully you'll hear more and more from the students. And I hope I didn't miss anything. I think that's it.
Thank you. Pupil Services?
Hi, everybody. I'll save my mushy stuff, Dr. Young, for the next meeting, just to spread it out a little bit. So, but welcome, Dr. Dara. I do look forward to working with you. As an exceptional education department, we're still reeling a little bit from the changes in guidance. So, we're still processing amendments. We're still writing contingency plans for the when we go fully remote, what services will look like for our students with disabilities. But as we're still processing this year, we are at the point where we're already starting to think about next year. Typically, we open up drafts of IEPs for teachers to work on over the December break. And again, we plan to do that this year. So, this is the time of year where our brains are really, in two places. So we will start to prepare for next year and think about, services for our students. I did meet with the administrators just in terms of just making some minor changes. We consulted as a team in terms of really how to best support our secondary students, and in particular our 9 through 12 students. Our primary goal on our IDEA identification plan does focus on transition, graduation rate, and course failure / passing rate for our students with disabilities. So we did meet as a team and talk about how to provide some more embedded supports for our students at those grade levels. So just, making some minor tweaks to some, programs for next year. I've been talking to my staff members about what some of those changes might look like. I think change is hard for everybody. But, as we presented at the restorative practices meeting at the roundtable, if we want different outcomes, we need to do something a little bit different. So that's where we are in terms of exceptional education right now.
Thank you very much. Curriculum and instruction.
Okay, boss, I'll be a little mushy now and maybe a little mushy later. Your generosity over the years has really been something of note. You've been good to your administrators, and we all appreciate that. Can't wait for this holiday dinner. Dr. Dara, we'd like to welcome you as well. This is a little bit of a surprise for us today. We would have been there in person. So in general, we have recently restructured our virtual Wednesdays, allowing our teachers to have office hours, targeting those students that they feel need the most support as they need the most support, instead of trying to structure something that did not allow that sort of flexibility. It also allows our students to access our teachers as they promote self-agency and some self-efficacy, so that they can get the support that they feel they need along the way. That's at the secondary building. We will, of course, reevaluate all systems continually as we go through COVID and as COVID changes our operations. Since the last board meeting, I've conducted 30 unannounced observations. Most of these are really exceptional lessons. I think I'm very impressed by our sort of crop of freshman teachers, our newer staff, our younger folks. For not having a lot of experience to fall back on in teaching as a career, they've been very creative, very innovative, and I think that the kids appreciate what they're seeing. I know that I have. Jody, Loretta, and I have met with the ESSA state reviewers, as Jody said. We continue to work with them to try and identify how we may best assess our progress this year. We do have the SRI SMI coming up for math and reading inventory in January, but with COVID uncertain, we're uncertain as to whether or not there will, how the state assessments or Regents exams might play out. January have been canceled already. I continue to meet with organizations like the Regional Tech Directors and the CIA Council through Questar 3, as well as county agencies around attendance and absenteeism. These are excellent organizations to be part of, because we learn more as a whole than in isolation. Our SRSD efforts are still evolving. I saw a really nice math lesson, a co-taught math lesson, where they had come up with a multi-step equations solution based on SRSD concepts. And we're going to begin a little bit more intensive professional development, embedded professional development using Questar 3 for that. Jen Overrocker and I are also going to meet with a group from Questar and Sourcewell Technologies as we discuss the challenges of mathematics under COVID-19. Ms. Sullivan mentioned the Chem Life magazine. It's interesting to note that that was founded on a group called ACS. ACS is chartered by the U.S. Congress. It has 152,000 members and is featured in 130 countries. And we had the front page of this month's magazine. So that's a pretty impressive reach for such a small rural district. That's pretty much all that I have. It's been an exciting year, continues to be so.
Thank you. Building and grounds.
Okay, so my reports are in the board packet. In addition to that, we are working on some compliance items right now. We're going to be doing lead water testing tomorrow morning. So I'll see everybody early at 6:30. And after the holidays are over, we'll be doing our fire inspections. We're working on keeping the schools safe and doing our disinfecting and cleaning. And I want to applaud the buildings and grounds staff for all their hard work. Our PPE and other safety items, we're keeping up on those, and we have a very generous supply right now. So outside of that, I too would like to welcome Dr. Dar on board, and I will save my fond farewells for our current superintendent till next month. So happy holidays.
Thank you. Business office?
So I am the same as Samantha. I will save my mushy stuff for next month for Dr. Young. I am also with Fred, and that I'm looking forward to this holiday dinner too. So regarding transportation, we're very excited. Transportation Supervisor Jeanette Alderman is working with our interim athletic director, Josh Weaver, to start organizing for swimming and bowling. So that's exciting. As far as technology goes, I would like to remind students and staff, be gentle with the gear that you have. If you did not see, we ordered about 100 Chromebooks last spring. We have not seen them. And if you saw the article in the Times Union between Schenectady and Albany, they have ordered 10,000. We are probably not going to see that 100 anytime soon. So be very gentle with the gear that you have, please. We will not have any replacements. Regarding food service, we are making some changes, some staff changes that will allow our cook manager to get a better grasp of the process that's happening down at BES, because it differs from the process here as far as lunch delivery goes, to try and get a better handle on some of the problems that we've been having. We did implement some changes that has not taken away the problem altogether, so those staff changes will happen after we return back from break and see what more we can handle with that. As far as the business office goes, we are being very money conscious as far as making sure that when our bills come in, they are met, because as we all know, we don't know what next year looks like, and we don't know what the end of this year looks like. So even your extra classroom clubs, don't hold on to anything. Process it, process it, process it. We do not know what the future holds. That's all I have.
Thank you. Moving along, we have new business. Board Policy 5670, Record Management, first reading. And I believe we have a motion here to move this. Resolved upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, Board of Education of Bernal Central School District, hereby forgoes the additional readings of Board Policy 5670, Records Management, and move the adoption of the policy effective December 16th, 2020. Could I have a motion for it?
I'll make it.
Is there a second? Katie seconds it. Any discussion on the motion? Derek, how do you vote? Katie?
Yes.
Rachel?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. I don't know if there's any additional public comment. We're kind of small tonight. A lot of virtual, which is great. The dates of the next meeting will be the roundtable Thursday, January 7th, middle school, high school at 7:15. And should we put a virtual clause in that if we need it? Probably.
I wanted to point out to our students who are on the call that during public comment, that would be the time that you might speak up if you had something to say. They're just kind of dipping their toe in the water here in their first board meeting.
Okay, is there anyone that wants to speak for public comment? I don't want to cut no one short. No takers. The regular meeting will be Tuesday, January 19th. Middle school, high school, 7/15, and we'll put a virtual clause on that one too, for anyone that can't attend it. Is there?
What is it? Undecided, okay.
Undecided. We're going to we'll discuss it. We'll set an agenda for that. And is there any other action from the board tonight from any board members? Any concerns? If not, could I have a motion to adjourn? And I'd like to thank everyone and have a safe and happy holiday. Motion to adjourn? Katie makes it a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everyone. I got your paperwork.
Can you stop it? I don't know what the issue is. Oh, come be on it. Well, we can find out.
Thank you, Sharon, for everything.
Oh, good times.